Olympic knockout round is in the books. Team USA, Germany, Serbia, and France are all advancing. Me and Bobby, we're going to break it all down and more. But first, we got to play that intro.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central, your number one spot for everything basketball related. Bobby, man, the Olympic round is done and in the books, brother, and we got some games to talk about. Every game in the next round is going to be a rematch of a game that we've already seen. I don't know how exciting that's going to be for people or not. It is what it is there. But let's start off with U.S. We're going to start off with the U.S. Team USA destroys Brazil 122-87. This game was an absolute crap. Like, they didn't even make it interesting. They didn't even give Brazil a chance to even think that they were going to have a chance to fuck with them. I love that. Team USA ends up winning by a lot in this game. Balanced scoring throughout. Devin Booker leads the team in scoring with 18 points. Next up is Anthony Edwards off the bench with 17, but then you also get 14 from Joel Embiid, who finally shows up in one of these Olympic games, 13 from LeBron James, 11 from Kevin Durant. How'd you feel about this game, Bob?
Oh, I feel like it was a good game. I would say that the Brazil tried to fight back early on and got it close within like 10. And then the USA was like, nah, it's just not going to happen today. And I'm happy that they was able to do that. They was able to take care of business. And right now, you know what I'm saying, it's really their gold medal to lose. If we looking at the landscape, the one team I thought, I know we're going to talk about it later, Canada, I thought they was going to be a threat. Obviously not. But overall, I'm just happy to see that these guys continue to play solid basketball. The biggest story for me is number one, Kevin Durant was setting the all-time scoring record for USA basketball within the Olympics. And then Joel Embiid. To me, this was his best game.
Yeah.
Efficient. He had the activity. He still look a little slow a little bit, but it's still he good. He got enough coverage to kind of pick him up a little bit, but that's a good sign that he had his best game on the within this afternoon. So shout out to Joel Embiid.
For sure. Joel Embiid really showing up a lot in this game. We've been waiting for this Joel Embiid to show up, and he finally did in this one. And it was at the most important time. And we're going to definitely need him against Serbia because it's going to be Joel Embiid against Jokic. Again, that matchup is always fun. Always a fun matchup when those two get to going at each other. So that's going to be a fun one. But yeah, I just love the way that the Team USA came out and they didn't play any games about today. They wanted to get it done. And you saw very early on that they were going about their business. This is probably one of the first times where Team USA felt like a team more than just a collection of talent. And that's going to be a key if they want to keep advancing and try to get to that gold medal for sure. That hoodie is fire. Kev. Shout out to Big Kev. Hey, it's not often that Big Kev has some drip that I'll be a little jealous of. Killed it with this one. Shout out to Big Kev on that one, bro. How you feeling about? We're talking about Team USA. How'd you feel about this victory Team USA had?
It was a complete victory. They went out there. They didn't give these guys a chance. Like Brazil didn't even look like they belonged out there half of the time, more than half the time. It was good to see them have a complete game because a lot of these games, they may start slow or let the team stay in the first quarter or halfway through the second quarter, but they controlled this game from start to finish.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And we were talking a little bit about Joel Embiid probably having his best game so far of this Olympic run. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's more of an anomaly for me because it was, mostly from the outside. And obviously he's not going to just camp on the outside. He likes to do that, but like he's not that efficient as he was today. I think he started off 3 for 3 from 3. That's not normal Joel Embiid because the French crowd is against him.
Real. Hey, but don't embrace it too hard because they'll throw you out the game, bro.
Bro, they just throwing people out the game for nothing in this bitch, bro. Like they just be waiting for a reason to throw a motherfucker out the game.
They say, like, Shikari, you trying to get a gold medal? Nah, we gonna make it hard.
Sacre bleu, sacre bleu.
That's sacre bleu. That's crazy. But yeah, man. So overall, really good production from Team USA. I was right before you came on. I don't know if you heard or not. I was telling Bobby like this is the first game in this tournament where this felt like an actual team more than just a collection of talent, and they're gonna need to keep building off of that if they want to get to that gold medal game.
Yeah, I mean, they're being led by LeBron James, and that dude's out there throwing dimes. And when he needs to take over, he does, but he gets everybody involved. You just got to be ready to score. And today they seem like they just were. But Booker had a quiet leading scorer. If I'm not mistaken, he was the
Yeah.
leading scorer,
Yeah.
and it was quiet.
That's who I
Yeah.
got to show us some love to is Devin Booker. You ain't they don't really talk about him, but for the most part throughout the exhibition games and then in the group play, he been solid. Like he ain't having those spectacular games or to where he's garnishing, you know what I'm saying, all the media love or whatnot. But he coming in, he's sticking defense and he knocking down his shots and putting the ball in the basket. What more can you ask for from Devin Booker? And to lead the team today, it was just it was a good sign from him. And Anthony Edwards with his continued solid play, these guys they really putting their best foot forward. And one thing that stood out from when I heard Chris Paul talk about his experience with the Olympics is that they talk about those guys that become champions within their role. And right now, these guys are appearing to be champions within their role, but they still got ways to go for sure.
For sure. And this definitely should be, we won't say for sure yet, but one of those passing of the torch Olympics to where the old guard and the Kevin Durant's, the Steph Curry's, the LeBron James are passing it off to the new players and Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum and players like that. So, that's what you want to see. And let's go out and get this gold. But in Team USA taking care of business and completely dominating Brazil, of course, the Olympics are in Paris, France. And France gets past Canada. I don't know very many people who thought that France was going to get past Canada in this game.
No.
And they did so by almost double digits, 9-point lead here in this one. France wins every single quarter, but the third quarter, I believe. They lost the fourth quarter as well by 2 points. But they lost the third quarter by 5 points. They won every other quarter. They lost it by 2 points with the fourth quarter. How'd you guys, Kev? I'll come to you first on this one. How'd you feel about this French victory over Canada?
I was surprised. I'm not even going to front. I expected Canada not necessarily to blow them out, but to take care of business. They came into this tournament with the intentions of winning a medal. And now I think the best they can do is a bronze medal, maybe. I don't know how this shakes out after the eliminations and whatnot. But at the end of the day, man, I'm disappointed in Canada for losing to Big Useless and his teammates. It just wasn't something that I expected. I thought they were going to pick and roll these guys to death. And give them kudos, though. Give France kudos because they're a team that's been together for years. They've played in many, many world championship situations, medal matches, so on and so forth. And they're the home country team. So, they got something to play for. I mean, everybody got something to play for. But for them, it's a little bit a notch higher because they're playing for country pride in their home country. So, shout out to them for taking out Canada. But I'm definitely disappointed in SGA and company.
I'm absolutely disappointed in SGA and company, but I gotta point out, hey, you say Big Useless. Hey, France found him useless too. He only played 3 minutes today.
Yeah. And I don't think Canada can even get in the bronze medal game because if I'm not mistaken, the bronze medal game is between the losers of the next two games.
Yep.
So
they ain't getting no medals.
They ain't getting no medal.
Man.
Yeah.
So that's what just adds on. But I got to show love to France for switching it up, and you know what I'm saying, playing with a more feasible lineup for France. And then just with Canada, Jamal Murray, bro, big, huge disappointment. 24 minutes, only 7 points, 3 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, bro. That ain't good enough, especially for a country that ain't even sniffed any type of medals when it comes to playing basketball. So a little better. He definitely should have been better. And it was just unfortunate. I honestly thought that they was going to be a threat just because the amount of NBA talent they have all up and through this roster. But hey, I was proven wrong on this. And shout out to France. They was able to get it done with Wemby and Frank Ntilikina.
I mean, that was smart of them not to play Joel, because not Joel,
Rudy
Gobert, because they would have got pick and roll to death.
3 minutes played by Rudy Gobert in today's game. That's crazy, man. He's never beaten allegations.
He never beaten allegations.
He's never beaten allegations. It's done. But yeah, the most surprising victory today, at least for me, France, goes over Canada. So they will be facing Germany in the next round. So I guess we'll go to that game. Germany over Greece today. Bobby, how'd you feel about this game, bro?
Oh, I felt pretty good about it. I was saying that my two threats, it was number 1 was Canada, number 2 is Germany. I think that chemistry that's going on with Dennis Schroeder and Franz Wagner, bro, that's something that you can build off of, especially if it's just a elimination game. Anything can happen. So I'm not too upset with the result because I picked Germany to win. And then Giannis, we already came to the conclusion when we discussed it previously. It was just like, bro, is Giannis a bust? You know what I'm saying? Giannis gonna do him, but then after that, who you gonna call up? An asses? I'm just saying.
Hell
I'm
nah.
just saying, bro.
No, you're right though. Like they had no answer to anything else. And it was just Giannis. That was their key to trying to go far in this. And keep in mind, they only won one game. They only made it to this
Yeah,
round by the skin of their teeth as is, right? So
exactly.
not surprising there at all. Germany, they're undefeated now in this tournament as well. I think they're the only USA is undefeated as well. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting matchup between Germany and France, and we'll see who comes out on top there. Last game of today, though, which was actually the first game played, Serbia and Australia. This was a very entertaining game. Went down to overtime in this game. Australia was up by over 20 points at one point at the beginning of the second quarter. This is a good testament of why you just don't give up. Serbia did not give up. They kept chipping away at that lead. Eventually, they take the lead over in the third quarter. Australia comes marching back as well in the fourth quarter, and this game eventually goes into overtime. But in the overtime period, Nikola Jokic, and they just closed this one out. How you guys feel about this game?
I thought it was an incredible game. We were talking about it in a group chat, and you know, when you said it was over, I'm like, wow, is Haize really saying this? It's too early to be saying it's over, man. That's
They had the
crazy.
momentum, bro. They was
They
killing
had
it with the
everything
I
momentum,
right
know.
bro.
there.
That's why I didn't push back, because I'm like, well, it might be, but I'm like, man, I'll go in, I clock in to work, I get settled in, I pull my phone out, like, damn, they done tied the game. But that just goes to show you what we said a couple of days ago. The team that has the best player is likely to win that game. And as well as Australia came out, they ran out of gas. Shout out to Josh Giddey though, and Patty Mills. Like they left it all out there on the court. Hopefully Josh Giddey's cool. I'm not sure what the prognosis is on his injury that he suffered at the end. Maybe it was just a tweak or whatever. But him and Patty Mills tried to carry that team to victory, and they just didn't have enough over Bogey and Jokic, man. Like, especially when they went to overtime, Australia was down there, big man who fouled out in the fourth quarter, I believe it was, and they just couldn't recover from that. They needed to score, they needed to win in regulation, and they didn't have enough.
Yeah, it was just some of the stuff that for me, it was for one, it was a good ass game. I was like, Haize, I'm like, bro, this is over. Like, this is over. But some of the inconsistencies that Australia has shown crept up into this game when it mattered the most. Bonehead turnovers, things, you know what I'm saying, that necessarily didn't 100% make sense. Um, and that's what really stopped these guys. When you talk about what Serbia was able to do, it was a young guy that came off the bench in Guduric. He was able to, you know what I'm saying, have he only came out and had put up 11 points, and I'm hoping I'm saying his name right, but he was big. He was in on every major play that it was. And then Mikic, he was somebody that we scouted, you know what I'm saying, over there for my Chicago Bulls at one point. And he just was hitting tough, crazy shots. It was like crazy. I remember it was like he hit a one leg floating, I believe, to the right, just a 3-point shot, all net. Like, it was just that. Once those guys build up that momentum, you really just lean on the best player on the floor, which was Nikola Jokic. I mean, and Patty Mills, he gave it his all, but he's 36 years old, and Josh Giddey at 21 years old. He hit some clutch buckets, you know what I'm saying, in that fourth quarter, but he did have a crucial turnover in the end of that as well. So you got to give it to Serbia. It was a really a game that can go either way, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really was. Like it was a really fun game. And this is probably one of the funner games that we've seen in this whole tournament. To be honest with you, but the Australia was just top heavy. It really comes down to Josh Giddey really kind of running that offense, and then Patty Mills hitting crazy shots. Like, and if you don't have both of those guys doing those things, you can lose. Now, if you have one of those guys doing the thing at a high level, like Josh Giddey's shown that his creation and things like that, he's able to do enough to get other players involved, but you need some shooting. He's not going to really bring that, even though he shot the ball, I think 42% from three over the course of this tournament.
He hit three threes today, 3 for 5 today. So,
but yeah, overall, like, Australia just did not have enough down the stretch. They're another team that only won one game overall in the tournament, and Serbia just executed more, and they had the player that stepped up the most in the overtime period, and they were able to win that game. And that's just it. It was a very, very fun game, though. But then we move in fellas, we might as well do our predictions as well for the bracket that we have next. So the semifinals that we have is going to be France versus Germany, which we talked about, and Serbia versus the United States. These are both games that we've seen before in the opening round of the Olympics. Let's go with Germany and France first. Who you guys got coming out of that one?
Man, until I see France lose, I'm gonna pick them because they the home
Oh,
team. Like they playing with a little extra grease right now, a little extra motivation, and they got the refs in their pockets too. Like I'm keep bringing that up too. It's just something that's comes with it. You got to overcome that, and unless you're playing against the United States, the rest of these teams are pretty much all evenly matched. Germany not gonna lay down for these guys though. So this is kind of similar to the game that we saw today between Serbia and Australia, where we kind of figured it was going to be a push. It can go either way, but if it's a close game, I'm leaning towards France just because of all the extracurricular factors that's going to be involved.
for sure. I ain't mad at the pick. And I think this just comes down to one of those games that, like you said, could go either way. But for my selection, I'm gonna select Germany. And I think that's because the chemistry with Dennis Schroeder and Franz Wagner. I just think that's just something to really, really look at. And I believe that with the guard play of Schroeder and the way he's able to get downhill and attack the basket and then open things up for Franz Wagner and the way he's able to stretch the floor and work inside as well, that's going to be difficult for France to handle. And we already seen that they haven't really been too confident on Rudy Gobert right now, at least. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the nod to Germany just because I feel like right now they're in a better spot. And then when we talk about the history of them, I believe they put a lot of pressure from years past with FIBA basketball and the Olympics right now. So I'm gonna get in the nod.
And I agree with that. I like Germany is going to be my pick here because I just look at that German team and how they play as a team. And while France has had a nice run, a better run than what I think a lot of people expected them coming in, being them home country or not, I think sometimes that luck just runs out, and I think it's going to run out against Germany. I think they're just such a solid team, man. Germany just
Yeah.
gets it done, and so you look at how they can go take a step up defensively, but then also if it comes down to just a dog fight of a game, Germany just executes kind of the little things better at a more consistent level for me. So that's why I'll pick Germany in this game.
I agree with that. I think that Dennis Schroeder, when you talk about a guy that has won a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers, no, he didn't actually. I think
Was
he,
he not
yeah,
on that team?
He
no,
He
he
was
fumbled.
out
afterwards.
of that right before.
He
He
fumbled.
got
He
us out
fumbled the
there right
bag.
before.
He fumbled the bag. They offered him a
He
big
did
extension.
fumble the
Oh
bag. They
yeah,
offered
that's
him that
right. I
80
almost forgot
He
about
fumbled
that.
the bag, so appreciate the correction. But I do think that with his experience, that's gonna be something that to really, really watch. And I really, really love Dennis Schroeder's play style, especially with the FIBA rules, because it matches it perfectly, in my opinion.
I
Hmm.
agree. Completely agree with that. The next matchup, Serbia versus US.
Serbia is not coming back from 20 points versus the United States. They
That's a
they
fact.
don't. So they're gonna have to bring their A+ game, not just their A game, A+ extra credit game, because there's no way they can come out as flat as they came versus Australia and expect to come back and win. I don't care who they got on their team. So I'm picking the United States because they're clicking on all cylinders. They've been clicking on all cylinders for the entire, and except for three, but today they hit the three really well. I think they shot about 45%, 47% from three today. So if they play like they played today, nobody in this tournament has a chance in my C-Dub voice. So it's, at the end of the day, the United States should defeat Serbia. I know this isn't the preliminaries where they went ahead and beat them by 30-some points earlier in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Serbia is going to come out with a little bit more moxie, but I don't think they have enough to defeat the United States.
I'm with you on that. I'm gonna pick the United States as well. I do think that the Serbia has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, though. The United States beat them 2 times, prior before we got into this point here. But I just think that Serbia is too Jokic heavy, reliant. You know what I'm saying? I think they
Yeah.
depend on him a lot. And there's no way he's playing 40 minutes against the United States and winning. I just think that, because I believe that's their only chance, but we know that he's going to have to utilize a lot of energy guarding Embiid. And then you turn around and when Embiid goes sit down, now you got to guard Anthony Davis. Now I'm going to show a lot of love to some of those role players over there on Serbia. And I believe Bogey is a solid scorer. I just don't think it's necessarily enough for the firepower of the USA. So I'm going to pick USA in that one.
Yeah, USA all the way here. I can't pick Serbia over them. Like it may be an interesting game unless Bogey and Nikola Jokic are gonna go completely nuclear where both of them are scoring 40 points. They have no chance in this game.
That's a
It's
fact.
gonna be a physical game. The US is gonna have to be prepared for that physicality because I do think that Serbia is gonna try to rough them up a little bit and see if we can throw them off their game. But other than that, I love it. I hope that it's a competitive game, but I got Team USA running away with this one.
Yeah, I would say that Serbia, they got to come out, you know what I'm saying, firing. They got to, like, the way that they was able to flip the switch today, that's how they got to come out if they want a shot. You can't come out flat because once you get down 20 against USA, is pretty much over with. You know you will go on your run and then USA will turn it right back on and say, nah, it's over. We finna push this 25-30.
Yeah, that's what they did to Brazil with a 15 nothing,
Exactly.
15 nothing closeout of the second quarter. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, bro. So
Yeah.
Serbia, I mean, anything can happen in these you know what I'm saying, these one-offs, but yeah, you can't come out flat if you're trying to go ahead and take gold.
Oh yeah, if you come out flat at all against this team USA for Serbia, if they come out at all flat, it's done for.
That's a fact.
It's done for. This ain't Australia. We're well too balanced. We actually got shooters on this team. Yeah,
And the United States, they're not just relying upon one player to kind of
exactly.
carry the momentum. The rest of these teams have to rely on one, maybe two players, depending on the team. The United States, they just got too many players that can be the player, the guy. They've had a different leading scorer in every single game. So and LeBron, he's being OG out there. He unk out there. He's facilitating like a mug. He putting everybody in the right spots. And it's just, it's beautiful to see, honestly, to see this 40-year-old man out there playing at a super duper high level, still doing chase down blocks, so on and so forth.
Shout out
On
to
the
my
deep
old heads.
on the
It's
on the,
Bobby.
on the defensive end, and on the offensive end, he's putting the team in the right positions. Where he's averaging double digit assists for the whole tournament or close to it.
Yep.
So shout out to LeBron, man. And his playmaking he hasn't lost a step as a playmaker, and that's crazy to see.
It
Yeah,
is
it's
crazy to
great.
see for sure.
Great. But yeah, any last thoughts, fellas, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, shout out to Gabby Thomas with her fine ass out there dominating, boy.
Boy, definitely check out the IG.
Jesus, she is.
One
Hey,
for me.
hey, bro, she is an academic, graduated from Harvard, got a master's degree, and she dominated in the Olympics, and she bad, bro. I'm talking about bad. That's it. That's all I got to say.
I ain't gonna say it. But hey, y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. We definitely gonna keep the content coming. We definitely being more consistent over here on NBA Central. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow the best that's doing it out there. We're gonna get that recognition that we deserve. Y'all just gotta make sure y'all lock in for sure.
Absolutely. Y'all been showing up and supporting. We appreciate that. We're going to keep bringing that content. But yeah, you guys can follow us at NBA Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, NBA Central Show at gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything basketball related. We'll holler at y'all